Orientation is locked. Whatever the hell that means. Rotate device back. No, I'm not rotating the device back. It can stay just as it is.
Ghosts have been on fire. With season 4 confirmed, the series got plenty of surprises in store from your favorite characters, along with lots of updates from your beloved actors.
There we
Who
go.
managed to keep the pregnancy under wraps? What led Asher Grodman to seek therapy after the shooting?
Jesus Christ. Hey, maybe I don't care about any of this.
Usually takes a minute for it to catch up to the...
What I want? It's plain stupid ads.
It has to because we are not paying for anything.
Thank you.
What did you roll in? Oh my god. Someone else is getting a bath.
You can start talking, honey. There's people there.
Is this working, guys?
Because mine's not.
Operation is blocked. Rotate device back.
Orientation.
Whatever.
It's fine. It's fine.
Can anybody hear us? Pretty sure you can see us. Can anybody hear us? Pretty sure you can see us. But I cannot read the screen.
Don't. We got it. Got it.
You might have it, but I don't. I can't read anything anybody's saying.
I will.
That's why I wanted to get my camera going.
Here. Just take it.
It's gone. Whatever was there is gone.
Hi, guys.
There we go. That's much better. Cool. And get Carl involved as much as he could have his phone, and I could.
You have my phone. There you go.
Hi, Lou. Hi, Season of the Witch. It's Pam, right? And Lube is Lube.
This thing is a mess.
Well, I hope we get more people here since we haven't been here for a while.
Well, this was kind of out of the blue, so.
Yes, we were trying to get like 10 or 15 minutes later to give you all a chance to get on here. Oh, I don't need my glasses. I haven't become that old since the last time you guys saw us. Although I become old, no doubt about that.
There.
How many people do we have?
I don't know. Quite a few, it looks
Hi,
like.
Vicky. Megadesi, good to see you. Well, don't cry. There's no need for that.
No need for tears.
You might cry after we tell you what we're going to tell you, but just what's going on.
Well, what
what's been
happened
going
and
on.
no cry. That the worst is over.
Yeah, hopefully the worst is over. Although something worse happened today that hasn't happened in a while. Not 20 minutes ago, I fell down because my body shut off. I just lost all feeling in my legs and everything. It's only the second, third time that's happened. That's scary.
His knees buckled basically, and he
Yeah.
just went down. But so it wasn't like a fall. He didn't tumble. He didn't.
Yeah, it was a slow motion fall.
He dropped.
Just weird.
He dropped more than he. He didn't like keel over and fall or anything.
Yeah, I didn't hit my head. I didn't even.
Can you slide over a little bit so we can get you in the in? You're not really. You're only about halfway on the.
Whoa! I forgot I'm on a rolling chair. I'm gonna stand up and you can move the chair.
There.
How's that?
That's better.
All right, that's much better. The animals are all doing pretty good. The old lady is doing great.
Not me.
Yeah, not this one sitting next to me, but my memory, guys, like right this second, I can't remember the dog's name. Angel, but I could not think of that right away. But Angel's doing fantastic for her age. Oh my God, is she doing good? And, I gave her a bath today.
I mean, you're blocking your face on the.
Sorry.
There you go. Go on. You gave her a bath today.
And she was pretty good. She objects. She protests quite a bit about taking a bath, but
She sounds like it sounds like we're trying to drown her. Is what it sounds like. She's not happy about it at all.
how are you, Tracy?
Tired. Exhausted.
This whole ordeal is wearing on her too, obviously. She's obviously watching me go through all this crap.
He doesn't remember anything about the hospital stay. He doesn't remember anything about what happened, about how he ended up in the hospital. He doesn't remember any. I remember every single second of it.
I don't remember the ambulance ride. I don't remember fighting the restraints I was in. She can tell you about that.
Okay, what happened, guys, is the Tuesday evening, the 9th of April, he was not making any sense. He would say 2 words and then just stand there, and he couldn't find the words. And then he would just look at me and say, I don't know. I don't know. So I kept insisting to him that we should probably go to the emergency room. But of course, this one didn't want to go. And he actually told me, I'm just going to go to bed. I'm just going to go lay down. I'll feel better. Well, it's a good thing that he did not just go to bed. I ended up taking his blood pressure at about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And his blood pressure was 220 over 140. And I looked at him and I said, I'm calling 911. No, don't do that. And I said, it's done. I'm already on the phone with 911. Sorry, it's happening. And they transported him to the hospital. He was able to answer somewhat the questions that the ambulance guys were asking him. But we got in the car, followed him there, and by the time we got to the hospital 40 minutes later, he was unconscious. He was non-responsive. And they said he had a seizure in the ambulance. Which I was like, he's never had a seizure before. Hello. Oh, what did you roll in?
Yeah. Look at
Oh no,
look
no,
look at
no,
Gizmo.
no,
He
no,
rolled in something.
No, you are not to get on my lap. You're getting a bath as soon as we go in the house.
Gizmo's a mess.
Oh, good Lord. Gonna take me a minute to recover from that. But, oh yeah, doesn't he smell great? Yeah. Butchie's over there sniffing him like, ooh, where did you find that? So obviously they had to transfer him out of Big Rapids to Level 1 Trauma Center, which of course is Grand Rapids. So they
hour and 20 minutes away.
Yeah. So they said we need to transfer him hello Oswald, as soon as we have a bed. Well, Carl and I ended up sitting in the hospital in Big Rapids.
Ozzy.
That's the phone that's phoning. We ended up sitting in the hospital in Big Rapids for 16 hours before they were able to transfer him. And they were basically just filling him full of Ativan to keep him asleep. And we sat there for 16 hours. Finally, they transferred him to Grand Rapids. Since he was out of it, we had come back here because we'd driven my car. We came back here and got our neighbor's car, which he was kind enough to let us use. Followed him out to Grand Rapids, and the neurologist that we saw on Wednesday said that he was having seizures up through Wednesday evening, and then that was the last of them. But he did not wake up until very early Sunday morning. So you can sit up so they can see your face.
You said this one doesn't work.
That one. You have to see your face over there. All
right.
And it really threw him for a loop. It was terrible when he was having the seizures in the hospital because they had him so loaded up on medications. He was fighting everybody. He punched me. Honey, look at the camera so I can see you. You keep looking at the camera because.
Well, I'm trying to read.
I know, but I'm just saying. But they ended up having to put him in restraints, and he was in the restraints
forever
till Monday. Actually, he was in the because they just didn't know how he was going to react. He had security called on him twice because of the way that he was acting. He kept trying to get out of bed and leave, even though he wasn't conscious, and he was in the restraints, and he had his arm fully extended and was just yanking, trying to get out of the restraints. He said a few choice things to nurses and such, and they were all like, it's not a big deal. This happens. He doesn't know what he's saying, and he doesn't know what he's doing. And at one point in time, he when he woke up and he was very agitated, he asked me if I wanted to fight. And that was when he punched me. And he punched me. Yeah, he punched me in the shoulder. He left a nice bruise. But at that point, I had it, and I shoved him back in bed, and I said, when you wake up, you're going to be so ashamed of yourself after I tell you what you did. But yeah, it was a nightmare. It was horrible to see him like that. And, all the nurses were like, he can be like this. And are you actually reading?
Trying.
Okay. He can be like this, and he can wake up and be fine tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, sure, right. And so everything really just, Friday night was terrible. That was the night that he was kicking and punching and had security called on him and everything else. And so on Saturday, decided we're going to go home in the afternoon. We're going to stay home Sunday and go back on Monday. And of course, he decides to wake up early Sunday morning when we weren't planning to be there. And I got a phone call on Sunday, and it was one of the nurses, because all the nurses there have cell phones, hospital cell phones. And it was the one nurse, Kathy. And she said, she goes, hold on one second. She handed him the phone. And I just started bawling because he was awake. I didn't know for sure if he was going to wake up ever again. It was awful.
Still awful.
So now he's, hey, you're here. That's all I got to say. But so now he has to be on seizure medication because
4 pills in the morning and 4, 5.
yeah, 3.
It's a lot of frickin' medicine.
He's on a lot of blood pressure medication to make sure his blood pressure never goes that high again. And his blood pressure has been fantastic since. The last time he was at the doctor, it was 120 over 82 on Wednesday. So his blood pressure is fantastic. They said it could have been the blood pressure that suddenly made him start having seizures. They don't know. They really don't know what tripped it and what caused it.
You guys still here? Because my chat's not moving at all. Is yours?
Oh, Megaduzzies, you don't even know. I hate this on this phone. Okay. Why does it do that? I go to scan up in the chat and it's going to the next thing to play. I hate this app anymore. But yeah, it was awful. It was terrible. I hated it. I hated every second of it. And then it was, every other day going to the hospital, coming back here, going to the hospital, coming back here. So it was,
It's an hour and a half one way
yeah,
to come here to the hospital now.
yeah. So
All right, we got the phone working.
reasonably. But yeah, it was, but I, wanted to come and spend some time with the animals because obviously we left in the middle of the night. The animals had no idea what was going on. And thank goodness our neighbor Vicky, she came over and was letting the dogs out and feeding the cats and doing all that. So I didn't have to worry about them too much. But Gizmo was absolutely inconsolable. He would, whenever I would come home, he would run to the gate and wait for Mike. And then you could just see his whole body. He'd be standing there wagging his tail. And then after a few seconds, he'd stop. Then he could
when
just...
he realized I wasn't coming in.
Yeah. And his ears would drop and his tail would drop. And then he would just slowly walk back in like, oh, man, Dad's not here.
You guys got any questions? Or did we cover most everything already? It's horrible because worried about the animals, 4 cats, 4 dogs, and how many cats are there?
Plenty.
So worry about them. Worry about my house because we still have the stupid tarp over the roof.
Of the garage. Not the house.
But still,
not the house.
Still a horrible thing to worry about
on
top of everything else.
And that's why we will worry about those things when we need to. But so far as the animals go, obviously, if anything happens to him, the animals will be fine.
Got enough money on a life insurance policy, so.
But nothing is imminent. Ugh.
Stinky dog.
Oh, do you guys see this on my normally white dog?
Will they see this?
Oh, yeah. Sweetie, that's the phone that's recording. This is not the phone that's recording. So yeah, look on the phone and you can see if you can see it. Oh yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, see Mr. Gizmo?
That's the phone that's recording, so we can't use this phone to record. But you can see clearly.
That's why I was holding it up.
Sweetie, that's the phone that we're on live.
You just said you could see.
This is what everybody else is seeing. That's why we're watching this. So.
That's why I held it up.
It just, never mind. It's not filming.
You said they could see that. That's all that matters.
They can, right there, see?
That's all that matters, that they can see that.
And anyways.
I'm just going to fucking walk away.
Oh, Gizmo, you stink. Get off Daddy's lap.
Oh, he's fine.
Ugh. He was in the hospital. Well, he was in the actual hospital from Tuesday through, what day did they let you out?
Friday?
Monday.
But I insisted on being released.
Well, he went to a rehab facility afterwards. And he was only there for like, see, there was the hospital, and then we went to another hospital that had the rehab. I did not like that place at all. And he insisted on coming home, even though it was way too early for him to come home.
It worked out.
Yes, Lou. Absolutely. Not all the time, but the problem is with his short-term memory being fried like it is, it's
pretty rough. It's very rough. There's times I can't remember 5 minutes ago that somebody says something to me. There's times I can't remember some of the dogs or cats' names. And that's horrible. Just horrible.
And then if I say something...
Yeah, there's things... We can talk about something, or you can ask me to try to remember something we talked about in this conversation, and I won't remember it. That sucks too.
Or if I say something, he's like, why are you correcting me? Because what you just said is like
way wrong.
I mean, you told the doctor on Wednesday that you've fallen 4 or 5 times in the past week. And when you said that, I was like, what? And now you just said this was like the first time you've fallen in over a week.
Today? I mean, right now? Recently?
Yeah, when you just fell by the stove.
Yeah, it's been a couple times, right?
Yeah, but you told her that you had fallen 4 or 5 times in the past week. And when you said that at the doctor, I was like, huh? What are you talking about?
But I did fall today.
Yes. Yes, he did.
It's slow motion, too.
It's weird.
It's so weird because my body just shuts off except from my neck up. And it's slow motion. I can catch myself, kind of, I guess. It seems like I catch myself anyways.
Well, you know you're doing it because usually you're like, whoa, I'm falling.
But it's just, that's a freaky ass feeling.
But
you just go numb, I guess would be the best way to say it.
But he is on such heavy duty medication for these seizures. And when we went to see the doctor, she said after 4th of July, hopefully we'll be able to reduce some of them, because I mean, these things are heavy duty and they cause all kinds of, you read the side effects. It's like can cause confusion, memory loss, and coordination problems. And I'm like, okay, we don't need any help with any of those things. So
one of them is so wicked that they don't want, there's warning labels on the label, or warning messages on the label that nobody but me is supposed to handle them. It's crazy.
The pain thing?
Yeah, one of them is, what's it called? What's the name of the drug itself?
Which one?
The wicked one I'm talking about.
That was a pain patch that they had given on the whatever it was.
Bupropion. Bupropion. But there's another one that is basically the part of the name is the narcotics name.
Yeah, well,
it's wicked.
Yeah, we're not going to go into any details on all the stuff that he's taking on stuff like that.
It's been experimenting, basically.
Yeah, but that was for pain mostly, not for, But the other thing is, they discharged him from the rehab, and it's like, because he wanted to come home, and I'm like, we can't come home till everything is set. We can't, you can't just come home. You need to have all of your medications in place and everything else. And so they said, oh, well, this one drug that he's been on in the hospital, it's kind of hard to get covered by your insurance.
Yeah, it was.
And it's like, okay, well, we got it covered by his insurance. Oh, yeah, you got it covered by his insurance. And then she goes, the copay on it is about $900 a month. What? That's covered by insurance?
So it's
Hi,
still
Tales
not.
Told in the Dark. Not really, Lou. But yeah, so we ended up they got us a free bottle of it for a month's supply, and then it was like I had to call so many doctors because I was like, who is prescribing this medication? Who do I call? We've got to switch something, and they're like, oh well, you could talk to the doctor at his next appointment. I said his next appointment's not till after he's going to run out of these. He can't run out of these.
Right.
So 7 phone calls later, I finally got his medication switched to something that's like $10 a month.
So if I hold him up, will they be able to see him?
Yeah, right there. This is what they can see.
Right.
This is just this is the live on my phone.
Come here.
Or be a jerk. Be a jerk,
Yeah.
Ozzy. Go ahead.
Butchie.
But yeah, it's been a wild ride. But everybody's like, okay, well, we'll see you back in 2 months. We'll see you back in 3 months. And here's the good news, guys. While he was unconscious in the hospital, they did another MRI on him to make sure that, this wasn't related to tumor growth. And it's not. His tumor is stable.
Tumor went from, is that correct? Approximately?
It was about the size of the first knuckle of my pinky finger when they discovered it. But
now it's
tiny.
Quarter of that?
Not even. But
very small.
His tumor's stable. It hasn't grown. There's nothing that's going on with tumor growth or anything like that. So at least there's that. The neurologist is like, okay, well, we'll set up to talk to you in a couple months. And Mike looked at her and said, so you think I'm going to be around in the couple months? And she was like, oh, sure. A lot of his symptoms that he's having now are not. I hate this app. I seriously do. A lot of the symptoms that he's having now are not related to the cancer per se. They're all related to the seizure activity. It is very good news, Micah Desies. It's because I thought for sure they were going to take it and be like, hey, his tumor's back to where it was. And
Still a hell of a scary thing to live with.
yep. But I mean, when he was in the hospital, I cannot even explain the parade of doctors that was coming through there. They'd be like, I'm Dr. So and so. And I'd be like, and why are you here? Who are you? Oh, I'm with such, oh, okay. His surgeon, the surgeon that did his original brain surgery came in and saw him while he was out of it because he heard he was in the hospital and he came down to see him to see how he was.
Never had a more awesome bunch of doctors.
Yeah.
They actually all cared.
Yeah.
And it seemed genuine. It didn't seem like they were faking caring. They really cared.
Oh, those nurses, I'm going to tell you, those nurses on 5 North at Butterworth Hospital, they all deserve a big, huge raise. The nurses, the aides, all of them. I mean, they were fantastic. They weren't just,
Even the janitor people.
oh my goodness,
Yeah.
yes.
Amazing.
And the Helens.
Yeah.
The Helens were amazing. They have these people called Helens, named after Helen DeVos because of the Helen DeVos Cancer Center, and they. If you need something, you pick up a tablet in the hospital and you go, "Hey, I need a warm blanket and a cup of ice water," and 5 minutes later, here they are with your stuff.
It's amazing how good they are.
They really were, and
and
it
bring
wasn't
me slippers.
Yeah, The
They
slippers.
bring you slippers.
Yep. And I mean it wasn't just for him either. They made sure I was taken care of. They like after they called security and they asked me if I wanted to press charges, and I looked at the security guard and I said, "What kind of a monster presses charges on a loved one that doesn't know what the hell they're doing?" Like Wendy. And he said, "I have to ask because, and I said, "I understand, but of course I don't." And after everything was settled down and he would, because that's the thing, he would go to sleep, everything would be good, and then 10 minutes later he was up and just flailing again. And they were all like, "Are you okay? Do you need anything? Can we get you anything?" And I mean, it was amazing. And that's the thing too. I did not sleep when he first went into the hospital. I had slept obviously Monday night, gone to work on Tuesday. I didn't sleep again until Wednesday night. I was up for like 36, 38 hours, something like that. And then when I would lay down to go to sleep, I would, I would doze off for like 10 minutes, and then he would wake up and start fussing. And as soon as that happened, I was up.
And I fussed a lot.
I almost thought about filming some of it to show him afterward, but at the same time, I was like, no, I don't want to show him that. He's going to be mortified if he saw it.
Yeah, it's true.
But that's what the one nurse told me. She goes, she said, when they're out of it and they don't know what they're doing, she goes, that's not a big deal. She goes, it's the ones that are lucid and know what they're doing and still act like this. She goes, those are the ones that I'd like to kick right in the ass. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, they're great, great people.
Has Carl been around to help you?
He's helping with the grass, cutting the grass, um, cutting the grass. That's about it. Trying to, and he, obviously, I'm thankful for that very much. He could be a little better about cutting the grass because he's waiting till it gets about this tall or this tall at times, and sometimes it's this tall, and then he'll cut it when it's this tall, and then it gets this. He's not keeping it consistently cut. He'll cut it 2 or 3 times a week, so.
And well, and it'd be helpful too if you would cut the whole thing at once.
Yes, yeah, that can be a problem.
That would be most helpful.
And I like to pick up the dog crap a lot better than he is because he hasn't bitched about it getting in the wheels of his lawnmower, but it has to be.
Where's Gizmo?
Down there.
Gizmo! Gizmo! I know where Butchie is.
She's right here. Gizmo! He's coming. Come on.
Dork.
Jackass. That's a pretty good dog, though.
Wow. He's a good boy. Look at that big happy face. He's so happy. He's so happy running. Don't jump on my lap. No.
And he was just barking at our...
You're getting a bath as soon as we go in the house. But ow.
At our friendly neighbor.
Gross.
But the neighbor's been pretty good. Pretty invisible most of the time, actually. We do believe something's up with him, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah. The weather's been gorgeous. The weather has been absolutely stunning.
Nope, it has.
It's been beautiful. No high humidity yet.
It sucks for me. I can't even go in a river, especially now. Oh, I'm not allowed to drive either. There's actually a thing on my driver's license. If I should get pulled over and they run my... Yes, it is. I was told that.
She said that it's an honor system and you're not going to get in any trouble unless you get pulled over. Yeah. And then they have to report it. She goes, we don't report it to anybody. She said, but if you get pulled over, then we're going to have to say, yeah, he's not supposed to be driving. And then he'd get in trouble.
Yeah, that sucks. So.
Dog. Oh, dog.
Yeah, Gizmo's a mess.
Oh, you stink so bad. Now you got to get a bath. You happy now? Got to get to bath.
I just gave Angel a bath.
Well,
Was it this morning?
Yeah, he said he did it today. So, but yeah, it's so yeah he can't. And I mean, I wouldn't with the way that your legs are working for you. I wouldn't want you to drive anyway. I just don't think you'd have the reaction time.
No.
If he is seizure free for 6 months, he can drive again. But the thing is, he's never had a seizure prior to this. He's never had one after he got out of the hospital. So that's just absolutely fantastic. Lou, you wouldn't be laughing if you could smell him. Okay? Because
he
stinks. Oh, dog. You know, they have such sensitive noses. I can't believe that they just roll and...
He must have rolled in something dead.
Pretty much. Guess I'm changing my clothes when I go in the house.
Yep, for sure.
Gross.
Well, we will try to keep checking in a little more often, but it's just been crazy. Didn't have anything really good to share, but and it's still not good per se, I guess. But
he's getting a little bit better every day. He's really pushing himself to do stuff. The pain that he has in his elbows is restricting him quite a bit, but we're trying to get that straightened out so that he can feel a little bit better. But he's been doing.
Well, they wanted me to go to physical therapy, but that's kind of out of the question here where we live, because we're 30 to 40 minutes away from any place that could do any kind of physical therapy. So
that's where he was sent after he was released from the hospital, and he absolutely flat refused to stay there.
We don't have a vehicle capable of driving every day like that, or 3 times a week, or whatever.
Well, she said they could do it as little as once a week, but she said that there were things available where we can do it on basically on a video chat, so that you can work with the physical therapist over video, a video appointment.
Stubborn or stupid, it depends on which way you look at it, but I'm not doing it. So definitely not doing it.
Well, you're going to have to do something because we need to strengthen up your legs. We definitely need to strengthen up your legs so you quit losing your legs. Walking's clearly not doing it.
No, I know it.
You know.
I know it.
So but I mean, things could have been a lot worse. I mean, he's past the 1 year mark, you guys. May 2nd is the year anniversary of, his diagnosis, and most people don't make it a year. Most people are months, and he's already made it a year.
Yeah. Think about having that diagnosis. Most people don't even make it 12 months with this condition.
Yeah. I mean, I was just reading in a group that I'm in for glioblastoma, patients and caregivers. The one guy was talking about his 14-year-old brother was diagnosed with a glioblastoma, and it was inoperable. And that's the problem. Most of them are inoperable. And
which mine is inoperable.
No, it's not.
It's still there. Don't argue this.
They
can't remove all of it.
No, when I say inoperable, they can't even do surgery like they did with you. That's what I mean by inoperable.
Right.
They look at the people and they go, we can't operate on you. All we can do is give you radiation and chemo. He was able to have surgery, thank God. So his tumor was operable. But so many people on there are like, oh, they got all the tumor. And it's like every single person that responds to him is like, they didn't get all the tumor. They never get all the tumor. Somebody's telling you that, they're blowing smoke. And to have his first major setback 11 months after is kind of a miracle, because like I said, I read these stories every day of, oh, my mom was diagnosed 3 months ago and she's in hospice, and they said they expect her to go within the next 2 weeks. And I'm like, that's horrible.
Yep, it is a horrible cancer.
Yes, it is. So, and he had an appointment after he got out of the hospital. He had 2 appointments pretty much at the exact same time. So I took the video appointment with his surgeon while he was in doing his pain clinic appointment, and we discussed, the fluid that's when they do surgery on your brain, any fluid buildup, any problems, it doesn't get pulled out of your system in the lymph system like everything else does. Swelling gets pulled out through the lymph system, and that swelling can go somewhere. That can't happen in the brain. Keep reading. What does that say? There you go. And I said to the surgeon, I said, would more surgery be an option at some point? And he said, yeah, down the road. He said, we could definitely go in there and just, get rid of some of the fluid. And he said it would probably improve. So it might come to that at some point.
Do you want me to read what she said? Here comes Stinky.
Not as stinky
Here comes
as,
one of the stinky
not
dogs.
as stinky as this.
Oops. Live stream has ended.
What did you do?
I just scrolled up.
Oh, no, it's not
It's
under.
all right.
Yeah, it's all right. We're still there. But yeah, so it's, nothing about this is good, but, he's still here. It's been 2 days from now, it's going to be 13 months.
But I don't know. A lot of you guys know what I did being a mechanic and the warehouse that I worked, and everything I've always done all my life is physical. And now I can't do anything physical. Hardly. I don't have the strength. I tried to take a tire off my car a 3 weeks ago because Carl was helping me. I'm like, well, we got the lug nuts off. I should be able to pull the tire off and put the lug nuts back on and tighten it up. I couldn't even lift the damn tire, which was like something that was easy to do before, and I couldn't budge the tire. It felt like it weighed 500 pounds. I mean, I couldn't move it. Like, holy crap, this is horrible.
But that hospital stay did you in because you were laid up for a very long time and you lost muscle tone. And
definitely lost muscle tone.
And the problem is he can't get it back in his arms because his elbows are hurting so bad, and he really damaged his elbow with his
being strapped down and trying to get out.
His escape attempts. He's not Houdini. It's good to know, huh?
Yeah, I was strapped down, and I kept pulling really, really hard to try to get out of the restraint. And yeah, it was my right arm. I was pulling and pulling and pulling. My left arm, I wasn't really able to pull that hard on because the strap was long enough that I wasn't able to.
You were trying to get out of the left side of the bed.
Yeah.
So, and while he was doing it, I was like, honey, please don't do that.
I wasn't listening to nobody.
Well, you couldn't hear. You couldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
You couldn't hear me. You couldn't hear me. You couldn't. Yeah, they were. And that was the worst thing, guys, too, was that, when he went in for his surgery, at least I could call him. I could text him. When he was in with all this, I had, no communication with him from Tuesday through Sunday. I couldn't. I had to make all of his medical decisions for him, which was.
What? I was almost so you could see.
Well, this is for you to read the chat.
Tire is heavy.
Yeah, that's for you to read the chat. Is all that phone's for. But yeah, so I had no communication with him, and every single decision that I made, I doubted myself. Every single decision I had to make, I was like, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right thing to do? We want to put a feeding tube in because he hasn't had any nutrients and we want him to keep his strength up. And it was like, as long as it's temporary, I guess that's all right. But it was awful.
Still.
I don't recommend.
Yeah, still scary to me because you never know when the point might come. They might come in and say, "Oh, something's changed," and whatever that may be. But there is the possibility they could do surgery again. As much as I'm against it, but you don't know when your life's on the line. Probably going to change my mind about that.
The surgery, if you guys remember, when he had his surgery, he was like, the surgery wasn't anything.
Yeah, it wasn't.
He
Don't
was
remember going in. Don't remember waking up from the surgery. So
well, but you do remember coming back to the room.
yeah, I guess kind of.
You remember coming back to the room because you were like, the first thing that he said was, "Get this catheter out of me." And they were like, "We can't." And he's like, "If you guys don't take it out, I will take it out." Yeah,
And
that.
they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they took it out because they were like, "Okay, since she's here and you will have help, we will take it out and she will help you to the bathroom, but you don't go by yourself." But yeah, I remember the surgeon. Do you have any questions for me? Can he eat? Please tell me he can eat. He could eat.
Thankfully.
That was the other thing too. When he was in the hospital, of course they wanted speech therapy to wanted to make sure he could swallow. So he was on like a restricted diet, and he was fine. He was perfectly fine. So we went out and got Burger King. I was just breaking it into little tiny pieces and feeding it to him.
That's still awesome.
And it was so funny because they were like, "Did he eat any of his dinner?" And I looked at the nurse and I went, "Well, he had a Whopper." So he had the Whopper, and like the next day we got pizza, and he had pizza. And then when they transferred him to the rehab facility, they put him back on the restricted diet because their speech therapist had to evaluate him. And we were like, he's been eating for 3 days. Why would you put him on this little baby food diet again? So that night we went and got Wendy's. It's like, no, we're not. He can swallow just fine. Just, they were giving him pills and he was swallowing those. And I'm like, if he can swallow those, he can eat dinner.
Exactly. Oh my God, some of the pills they're giving me are probably as big as my thumbnail.
They're huge. They're
Huge.
They are like an inch and a quarter. They're huge. That's one of his anti-seizure meds that hopefully is going to be cut down. If they cut those down, he's going to be able to think more clearly. He's not going to have such weakness. He's going to be able to. It's affecting his memory. It's affecting his thought process. And yes, some of that is seizure, but some of it's the medication. And it's like, can we cut him down? Because he was on when they sent him home on that other medication, the super expensive one that I had talked about, when I called the manufacturer of that to try to get him into some kind of program to get that for less money, they asked me how much he was taking, and the girl went, "Wow, that's a big dose." She said the maker recommends the grand total dosage to be 200 milligrams. They were giving him 400 milligrams a day. And I'm like, he's never had seizures before. But I guess they prefer to like start high and then they can drop it instead of starting low and going, "Oh, you had a seizure, let's kick you up a little bit more," which I agree with because I don't want to see him have a seizure.
Can you guys see my handsome boy?
No, you'd have to lift him up into your lap.
Well, my handsome Ozzy's right down here. Right?
Look at him. He's like, "Me? What?
What?
Hey, stink pot, get out of my lap." Ozzy. Ozzy.
Mr. Ozzy.
Come here.
Here's my most handsomest boy. Ozzy. Here. There you go.
I just call him Velcro because everything that he walks on outside, he gets all over him.
What a good boy. He's awesome too. He sleeps, pretty much sleeps next to me at night now.
Yeah, so hopefully we will be able to wean him down, get him on less medication, and get him on a more normal pathway. Because it's hard.
So how many of you guys are here? Where can we see that?
18.
18? Awesome. I think that's the most we've ever had.
18.
Thank you guys all for coming and visiting us too.
Yeah, we've
it
missed
means
you.
a lot.
We've missed you guys, but he hasn't been in any shape. I haven't been in any shape to really do this. And again, I want to give a shout out to the place that I work, you guys, because I'm getting tears in my eyes thinking about it. When I called that Wednesday and told my boss what was going on, all that I heard was keep us posted, let us know let us know what's going on. It, I am so thankful that I work at a place that's not like, oh, well, okay, well, when are you going to be back to work? There's never any question of, and like Paul even told me this week, he was like, look at the camera. There you go.
I'm watching the dog.
I know. But he said, he goes, the reason that you work, the reason that you make money is for your family. He said, so when something's going on in your family, what could be more important than that? There's not many employers out there left like that. And they were super helpful to me with everything, and it's amazing because I was gone for 3 weeks
without having to burn up vacation.
Yeah, I took a few vacation days, but I've got several left still. So, but there's never any, oh, I have to get back to work because I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job, because that's how most employers are. Oh, gee, I'm really sorry this is happening. When are you coming back to work?
How long do you think you'll be gone?
Yeah. How long do you think this is going to take? I don't know. But yeah,
Easy.
You're not even walking in the house by yourself. I'm carrying you and putting you straight in the bathtub, mister.
Yeah, piece of stinky Gus. Yes, you is. But all right, guys,
Grab it on yourself.
We're gonna get going. But thank you all for coming and hanging out with us. It's amazing to see so many of you out here, here with us.
Hopefully, at some point we can have another fireside chat where we sit out here and listen. And
yeah, if it's been as nice as it has been, we've had some awesome nights already.
Yeah.
So, but it's still getting cold at night. Not just cool; it's been cold. We've had to turn the furnace on.
Yeah.
A few times already. So, but we will be back. I don't know, within a week, I would hope, or so. 2 weeks, maybe at the most.
At the most.
So, but thank all of you for coming and visiting us.
Thanks, guys.
We will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.